This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Oh, I miss Lindsay. Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, October 18th. I'm Tori here with my pals Jeff and Al. Good to see you, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well.
Thank you, Jeff. How you doing? Good weekend?
Good. I wonder if people are disappointed when they see everyone's face and then mine comes on the screen.
I think about that every day.
Oh, beautiful man.
I think about that. I'm like, and then there's me. All right, we're going to start with some sad news. Moving on, I'm sure you've heard General Colin Powell has died. He was 84 years old. His family posted the news on Facebook saying he, quote, passed away due to complications from COVID-19. They also noted he was fully vaccinated. Now, General Powell was the first black Secretary of State, and he helped shape American foreign policy during the end of the 20th century and the early years of the 21st century, especially during the aftermath of 9/11. Big name in politics, huge icon in the military. Colin Powell broke a lot of ceilings and was there for the UN, obviously telling about weapons of mass destruction, but owned that mistake and apologized for that mistake. And I think that's important to note. Also important to note, he did have multiple myeloma. He was successfully treated for it, but that's a cancer of the white blood cells. So in case you were like, why did he get vaccinated? These people are at very high risk for breakthrough COVID, and they are only 45% of them actually get adequate response from the shot. Wow. So I just wanted to add that in. It's not that he just didn't have any other immune compromised problems.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just looked at it, Jeff, as like the end of an era in terms of that kind of Republican and those kind of Democrats, where it wasn't like unheard of that a Republican and Democrat would like work on a bill together, would say, hey, I messed up on that, or I changed my ideas on that, and wouldn't be scared to be called a flip-flopper, or be scared to call, almost a turncoat to their party. I kind of miss the idea of just having a politician that like actually had, I just read the bullet points of his life. It was a lifetime of service. He was injured twice in war, appointed Secretary of State, just so many things, as a kid of an immigrant. Where are these men and women now?
They don't exist. And to the fact that we have to say, like, he apologized, he didn't mean to do that, he's a flip-flop. You mentioned in the beginning, how many ceilings he broke through, the list of accomplishments, but yet we still, as a society, have to go back and focus on something he may have done wrong, right, in his life. He lived a great life. He broke a lot of ceilings. He should be celebrated as such.
Absolutely. I hope his family rests in peace and we're thinking of him as well. Well, there was a really horrific accident that happened during rehearsal for the new show, America's Got Talent Extreme. TMZ obtained video of the accident, and we do want to warn our viewers, the video is disturbing. So I'm going to look at the monitor up here. The stuntman was suspended by a wire with two cars suspended.
Oh, my goodness.
Either side of him, yeah. The cars were released, and he got sandwiched between the two cars, which exploded then during the collision. It's hard to see. The stuntman named Jonathan Goodwin was airlifted to a hospital and is in a trauma unit. Filming of the spin-off series has been paused indefinitely, and the show released a statement saying, quote, our thoughts, our prayers remain with Jonathan and his family as he continues to recover from his accident. Al, you have a whole show about this.
Yeah, well, I mean,
dying for likes. Talk to me about this.
But honestly, what was the point of this? I mean, I understand that this is, that these people are not, they're professionals, but they're kind of not. That just seems like that's a very extreme thing to try. And Jeff, I know that you've done a lot of shoots where you've done stuff with bulls and animals. I've done things in my career where I've worked with bullwhips and alligators and things like. And looking back on my career, I've done some very dangerous stuff, and I know you have too. Are you surprised by this? Because I thought about you tearing your bicep on a bull when I saw this story, and I thought about my co-host on my old BBC show that was doing this stunt with this guy with a bullwhip, and he was cracking. He had a rose in his mouth, and he was cracking them with a bullwhip. Like a bullwhip was that. So it's like I could see how this could happen.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment value. If you're not pushing the envelope,
Right.
people are no
You're
longer
right.
entertained. You even say all the time, the guy jumped from space and people were putting thumbs down. I mean, it's,
Oh, that guy who
it's
went
Al's
over.
joke, but
Yeah.
it's so funny because it's like, what do I have to do to entertain you? You have to push the limits and go to places like this. Otherwise, people aren't going to be entertained anymore. And I do want to say this.
That's a good
they know
point.
what they're getting into, okay? When you're doing extreme stuff like that, when you're rock climbing like that,
Free solo guy.
a lot of people in that career, industry, whatever you call it, they die.
Yeah.
They know that's part of it. When you're jumping on airplanes for a living, accidents happen. They understand. That's where they get their adrenaline rush from. If they're not doing something extreme, they're not even happy.
But they're family. But they're also like family-friendly shows, and I feel like the whole family gets around to watch America's Got Talent. Does it feel like we're promoting somewhat violence or extreme violence for families? That's my only
Listen,
question.
being on reality show,
Yeah.
you sign this much paperwork, okay? So if they want to do that and get these people numbers, why not? If you're the producer, I would allow it on my show. If that's what you want to do, come do it on my show.
Interesting.
That's a good point.
Interesting. Let us know what you guys think. Hooters. Big transition there. Hooters. Hooters restaurant is rethinking its new uniforms. Take a look at the new thong-like shorts. We have to look at up here.
Nobody knows that we have to look up there.
I know. Look, I'm showing you guys.
What was it?
Whatever, which are, as you can see, are much more revealing than the old ones. Hooters had initially mandated the new shorts, but backtracked after employees went on TikTok to complain about it, and it went viral. So now Hooters says employees can choose whichever short is best for their body type. I like Hooters. Our co-host Erica Cobb is a proud Hooters girl. She made it into the Hooters calendar, I believe it was April.
You don't know that.
I do, is May or April. I like Hooters. I
You
think
only
it's
got 10
fun.
more months.
Okay, but let's talk about the outfits and let's talk about the situation that we have here.
Yep.
They sell wings and beer. And there is an unsaid situation when you go in there that, hey, old silver men, come in here. There's young women that would never talk
Clearly.
to you in real life.
But it's a consensual-
In here, it is a consensual
Right.
situation, and that outfit is part of that. So it's almost like a double hit because also when they post those outfits, they're also posting them because they know people will also find that attractive, while they're also commandeering the pro female, the positive body type
I don't
thing
think
as
it
well.
that way.
You don't think that they were trying to be attractive in those things
I think they were
when that young lady turned around and showed her rear end? Like, we know what short shorts look like.
And of course, she's
So
from-
why did she do that?
To me, she used TikTok as leverage to say this doesn't feel comfortable, and that's what workers have now. TikTok
The
to
other
show
one
leverage.
wasn't a robe.
I know, but it certainly didn't go up the. I don't mean to be graphic, but that one was incredibly different than the short shorts.
It's a place called Hooters, Jeff. Am I wrong?
Listen, I kind of use the entertainment
What's
For
that
both.
value.
What is that we had to blur out?
But that's why she's saying I'm uncomfortable with this. All these women are saying
She's so
I don't.
uncomfortable she had to put it on to TikTok.
That's what you do in a protest. You say this makes me uncomfortable, and enough people did it that Hooters is now saying you can choose. So that it worked.
Okay, so let's go with the Hooters robe, and we'll watch their sales drop off, and there'll be no Hooters.
No one wants a Hooters robe, but we do want certain things to be covered. They made that very clear.
Who's we? Their clientele? I don't think so.
I think it's what's good about being consensual is they said this is uncomfortable. We're going to protest it, and it worked.
But they can no longer also work at Hooters. That's also the option.
True. What do you think?
I agree.
I still feel like, Jeff, you had such a great point about the American, the extreme thing. I was like, I've been thinking about that. That's a good point. They sign up for that. Yeah.
Well, I was going to bring that point right over to this. It's entertainment value. If you're
Right.
not pushing the envelope, maybe people start to lose interest.
Exactly. Those
And it's the
uniforms are
same
very
thing over here.
1980s.
You're pushing that envelope, but to what? To what detriment are you looking to get those numbers or people in that door?
And we're talking about Hooters. That's another thing.
And
But
it is an aging franchise, and they have to kind of compete. It's not as easy as saying, wear whatever you guys want. I get it, but that's not what their clientele wants.
I understand, but I think they pushed the line for entertainment. They clearly crossed it when so many people took to TikTok and said, "This, even I am uncomfortable," and they changed it.
Especially
as
in
they
this
should.
era, it's surprising. A little
Right?
bit. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Let me know if you like those Hooters wings. I think they're delicious.
They have
like-
crab legs too. You guys didn't mention that.
Their food is not bad.
bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Coming up on DBL, the star of Ordinary Joe reflects on what it was like working with Robin Williams in his last TV role. And this realtor has nothing to hide in this house listing. Literally. Was his nude marketing just a little too cheeky?
Entertainment value.
Yeah, you're right.
Closed captioning provided by
Talking Hooters. I actually went
Can you guys
to
turn these on?
a Hooters
yay!
in San Antonio, which I remember talking, this is years ago, talking with the owner, and they were the second busiest Hooters in the country. This
Where
one,
was it?
was in San Antonio. The number one is in Doral, Florida, over there where Trump's.
How do you know this?
Where'd you have
How do you
these
know that?
numbers? Well, because we talked to the owner.
equitable, part
No,
of the-
but it's interesting because a lot of Hooters and things like that, they are considered for men, but on Saturdays, a lot of Little League teams go through there and things like that. Like,
I would go to
It's a
Hooters.
very family
I enjoyed Hooters. I always had a
dynamic in
fun
there. So
time.
it's not just, I think it changes at about 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But during the day, it is more of like a family style restaurant.
Someone just wrote, Daniel Page, Hooters wings suck. What? I like them.
I don't know if you should have read that.
I think, I don't know if you should either, but I feel like it's declined a little bit.
I see.
Or
The
maybe
food
it's
was
just
good.
Time you were at a Hooters.
The
not
food.
for a while.
You're
Not
right,
for a
you're right.
while.
Last time I was in LA, and that was about 7 years
I
ago.
used to
You're
go
right.
there and watch the fights.
She's like, Sarah's like, yep.
Because they'd have the UFC fights on
Right,
there.
and they were good.
And they were good. So, but now it's like, I don't know.
Well, there's
A little bit.
They had the one on 3rd Street Promenade.
That's where I go. That's where I go.
So that's the one I used to
That's
go
the one
to.
I used to go to,
Third
too.
Street Promenade.
But it's
It's so
shut
funny because
down.
we all hung
Yeah,
out at the
on
same
Tuesdays,
places and we never
you could
knew
make
each
your
other,
own,
right?
Sauce?
No, your own
Sorry,
wing spot.
back to
So if,
Hooters.
like, you want a garlic parmesan with lemon pepper, they'd make those wings for you for $20.
Do you know what I would do?
Because I used to do my
In Switzerland, I
comedy
went to
Apparently someone's a
Hooters in
little
the
more
Alps.
excited than he let on.
Yeah.
Because that Tuesday is a big deal.
You guys, I went to
Yeah.
Hooters in the Alps in Switzerland, and they wore little orange windbreakers because we were in the Alps with their little orange booties, and it was really cute. Again, all consensual. These aren't people who are asked to do it or made to do it. They consented to do so,
We're
and
assuming
they feel
this is all
strong.
under consent. We're assuming this is all consensual.
You
That's
must
what we're
work at
starting a
Hooters.
lot of these.
Welcome back to DBL. So the housing market is pretty hot these days. So check out what one realtor from Los Angeles did to get his listing noticed. But did he go too far? Speaking of entertainment, like Jeff was saying. So here he is starring in a nude photo shoot in the house he's selling. The photos show him naked. Oh God, in the bed, posing in various
I was
rooms.
more
In the
put back
kitchen?
by the kitchen
yeah,
one.
I feel you. You're a chef. He says his clients are, oh God, very spread. He says his clients are well aware of his style of marketing. But the question is, how would you feel if your realtor did this?
I don't think he'd be my realtor, but that doesn't matter because, Jeff, what do we always say? You want people to make it needs to be a yes with you or a no. And some people look at him and be like, that's ridiculous. But some people be like, hey, this guy's a go-getter. I like what he's doing. He's making me look at the listing. He's aggressive. I like that. So who cares about the people that aren't going to use you anyway? They weren't going to go with you anyway. But he did make himself stand out with the people that might.
He reminds me of that guy from I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
He's like, has the urinal cakes with his face on. He's like, whatever you got to get the people in the door.
You got to do it.
So
That's
I guess if it works for him, it wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't want
That's
a
what you
naked
want,
person
though.
singing where I'm cooking, and then every time I cook, that image
That's
is in
the
my head. I wouldn't be able to get it
That's
out.
the image.
Yeah.
I do want to show you, if you ever want to go on Instagram to follow Zillow Gone Wild. Do you guys know it?
No.
They show you the craziest Zillow houses for sale. They're like mansions with weird stuff in them. So one of them is just every single house picture is this skeleton in the house. So people are trying lots of different things to get noticed.
I wouldn't buy that house either.
Yeah, it looks cool, though.
I thought so too. Does your dog have ADHD?
No.
No. A new study of more than 10,000 dogs shows that some have ADHD-like behavior, including hyperactivity, impulsivity, inattention. The study said these behaviors were more common in young male dogs. It also found dogs who stayed at home alone all day were more hyperactive. They're hoping this study will help improve treatment for ADHD for both humans and dogs. I looked this up. This is total nothing in my book. You might have a rare overactive thyroid in a dog, but other than that, you're not exercising the dog enough.
Yeah.
Get a walk in.
You notice all those videos where the dog inside of a tiny apartment? Go find the sidewalk, do some laps. Do some more laps till the dog is tired. When the dog's tongue is out, it means it's tired, get some water. The dog won't do that. But like just calling it ADHD, I feel like it's a slap in the face to people that have it, Jeff.
They studied 10,000 dogs. Listen, we have to be careful. I'm not even joking. You have to be careful about stories like this, because there was one story that actually got published about a guy who totally was spoofing like the liberal culture at Portland University. He was talking about rape culture in dog parks, and he said he studied like 50,000 dogs, and it was all making fun of like left media.
It was like parody.
Yeah, and it got published, and he won an award.
Oh, God.
And before he got that award, it came out that he was faking it, and like it was all, and everyone was like, yeah, the rape culture in dog parks. What? And it was all a spoof.
Really?
It was all a spoof.
Do you think this is a spoof?
Yes.
You do.
They studied 20,000 dogs?
10,000. Don't jump it.
But I also think
whatever. It's ridiculous. They didn't even study 5. Get real.
I do know dogs. Some have certain problems, and they do take pills like antidepressants for certain separation anxiety.
No, their owners have problems, not the dogs.
That's your opinion.
Yeah. Oh.
I feel like he's talking
you
right
took
to
that
you.
one a little personal.
Well, there are dogs that do have problems, and I will say, if you don't exercise or mentally stimulate your dog, including nose work or agility courses.
Nose work?
Yeah, I can help you out if
that?
you want to just hit me up on my DMs. I'll help you out.
Look at you.
What is nose work?
You hide anise seeds, and they can point it out and
What's
figure
your
it out.
social media handle? Plug it.
I am Tori Shulman. I need followers. She's like out of time. Coming up on DBL, the new drama Ordinary Joe is all about life-altering decisions. Lead actor James Wolk, he was such a cutie, tells us the one choice in his life that could have changed everything.
I would have gotten more nose work. That would have changed my Ordinary Joe.
It's a
Thousands of pumpkins are sold in the U.S. every year, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Some pumpkins are carved into incredible jack-o'-lanterns. Others are painted to look like celebrities. And some turn into this. But what should you do with your pumpkins after Halloween is over? This viral Instagram post suggests smashing the pumpkins and feeding them to deer. But is it safe for wildlife to eat discarded pumpkins? Let's verify. Our sources are Kristen Dentwriter, chair of the Nutritional Ecology Working Group with the Wildlife Society, and David Mizejewski, a naturalist with the National Wildlife Federation. Dentwriter and Mizejewski agree. It's generally not a good idea for humans to feed wildlife because it may stop them from eating their natural foods.
That can cause nutritional deficiencies.
But since this massive pumpkin purge is just once a year, Mizejewski says it's okay.
It's a nice snack. I know pumpkin is generally nutritious, and I think that's something that's okay to do.
But only if the pumpkins are fresh and not modified, according to Dentwriter.
If they've been decorated with anything, glitter paint, maybe something from the candles, anything like that could be toxic to wildlife, so we wouldn't want them to ingest that.
She says rotten pumpkins produce alcohol, which can be especially damaging to wildlife. As a safer option, both experts recommend composting your pumpkins or donating them to a local zoo or wildlife shelter. So yes, it's generally safe for wildlife to eat pumpkins, but just make sure they aren't rotten, don't have any added chemicals, and don't do it all the time. However, it is 100% safe to feed me pumpkin pie. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. He's known for his roles in shows like Mad Men, Zoo, Watchmen, and also for his dashing good looks. Today, James Wolk is here to chat about his new show, Ordinary Joe, airing every Friday on NBC, and that's today's Chatting with the Stars. We're chatting with James Wolk, star of the new NBC drama Ordinary Joe. It's great to have you, James. Now, we're going to get to your new show, but first, can you tell us about the time you tried a South African accent while prepping for your role in Zoo? And can we hear the accent?
Oh my God. How did you? Well, I did the show called Zoo for 3 years for CBS,
yes,
which was so fun and wild. It was based on a James Patterson novel, and the character in the novel lived in South Africa for like 10 years. And I thought, well, I gotta go
there.
deep with this role. And I showed up at the table read, and the night before, my wife said to me, like, are you sure that you should be doing that? Like, they hired you. No one mentioned the South African accent. And we did the table read. I did the South African accent the entire table for an hour. Afterwards, one of the producers came up to me and he goes, great, that was a great table read. That's really nice. What's wrong with your voice? Is everything okay?
You broke down.
And I was like, that was a South African accent. He goes, okay, yeah, don't do that. We don't need that. And yeah,
That's a hard accent. We're familiar with people taking risks at this desk. I won't specify who would do something like that, but somebody at this table definitely has and would. So we appreciate your transparency.
Maybe somebody he was just talking to?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you worked with the legendary Robin Williams in what turned out to be his last television role on The Crazy One. So what did he teach you about acting?
I want to sing about sex.
We love sex. It's my favorite. We just need to come up with a meat-related sex song.
For a family restaurant, I mean, how hard could that be?
Before I worked with Robin, I had always felt like, well, to be a serious dramatic actor, you know, I got to stay in it. I got to always be in it. And then when I worked with Robin, even though we were doing a comedy, I realized that, like, he didn't have to sit in a corner and, like, berate himself to come into a scene and be serious. Like, he could just do it.
Now the fun's begun now.
Boss, secret sauce, drive through loving, drive through loving.
And so it just kind of changed the game for me. I just went like, yeah, you know, it just kind of eased things up for me. It was really nice. It was like going to kind of grad school, watching him and working with him for a year.
A role that I know you from, and you're super famous from, is Bob Benson from Mad Men. Are you familiar with the not great Bob meme?
Yes.
And we're wondering, what is it like being part of one of the greatest memes of all time, Bob?
Hold that. How are you? Not great, Bob.
It's a big high point in my life,
For
being
sure.
part of that meme. Good friend of mine comes into town. He has 2 young sons, 8 and 7. I decided I'm going to take him biking on the boulevard by the beach. He's a kid. We're at the beach, so he uses the public restroom. He goes in there, and I can hear my friend going like, don't touch that. Like, come on. And I can hear him sweating, yelling, and he comes out of the bathroom. I go, how'd it go? So that was like my thing. And he goes, not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
And just like, didn't miss a beat. Said it right back to me.
Let's talk about Ordinary Joe, because the show's premise is anything but ordinary. The show explores this idea that a single choice can change everything. So what's a choice from your past that if you changed it, it would have affected who you are today?
So what made me who I am today was probably choosing to pursue acting. Through this path, I've learned so much, but more important than that, I met my wife. And we have 2 kids, 4 and 2, and they're everything to me. So that choice to pursue acting, which took me away from my hometown of Detroit and took me in this direction, allowed this family to come into my life that I'm, you know, that I love.
We're melting here.
He is extraordinary.
Exactly. He's not ordinary. We love you. Thank you so much for chatting with. Don't forget, everyone, to watch Ordinary Joe. He's so romantic and cute. Airing Fridays on NBC.
He's married.
And we're all right. We'll be seeing a lot more of you. We'll be right back. Thank you so much. Not great, Bob. Not great, Bob. We want to make a quick correction. You can catch new episodes of Ordinary Joe on Mondays. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Demand for COVID-19 tests remains high, and manufacturers are trying to make it easier for people to get tested. At-home tests are one alternative that's gaining traction, but one verified viewer texted us to ask if they're just as good as getting one done at a test site. So let's verify. Are at-home rapid COVID-19 tests as accurate as rapid tests done on site? Our sources are the FDA, the CDC, Nebraska Medicine, 3 at-home test manufacturers, and Dr. Sarah Lynn Mark with the American Medical Women's Association. First, you should know there are 2 types of at-home tests. One is a PCR, which requires you to take a sample, mail it in, and wait a few days. The other is an antigen, or rapid test, because it gives you results in about 15 minutes, and is what we're focusing on today. Early in the pandemic, rapid tests got a bad rap, but doctors say they are much more accurate today and are still improving.
Over time, these rapid tests have become a lot more accurate. They're certainly easy to do, and the results can be returned relatively quickly.
Antigen tests collect a sample with a nasal swab or saliva to detect the presence of COVID-19's viral nucleic acid. Studies submitted to the FDA show home tests, when administered correctly, are about 85% accurate at detecting positive cases and around 98% accurate at detecting negative cases. Generally, they work best at detecting COVID-19 in people who are already symptomatic. That's similar to what a CDC study found when it looked into antigen tests administered by professionals. So it's true. At-home COVID-19 rapid tests are as effective as rapid tests done on-site when administered correctly.
The important point here is the test will only be as good as you obtain the samples.
Regardless of how you collect an antigen sample, Nebraska Medicine says the tests are not perfect and encourages people to check with their doctor to see if the results need to be confirmed with a more accurate PCR test. With Your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Attention online shoppers. Oh, I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. There's a new scam you do need to be on the lookout for. It's time for Security Alert, sponsored by LifeLock. So it's called the Amazon imposter scam. Uh-oh, here are the red flags. It starts with a phone call. Scammers will call you and tell you that there's a problem with your Amazon account and try to get personal information like passwords and credit card information. The imposter may also send you email that looks like it came from Amazon. But remember, these are not real. Amazon does not make outgoing calls to customers, and if you do receive one, the most important thing to do is hang up the phone and do not engage with the scammer. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-419-0131 or visit lifelock.com to learn more.
True, true.
True, true. You guys, we are so grateful for you to watch with us. We hope you have a wonderful day. We're new every day. We'll see you. Bye. Tomorrow.
Bumper sticker.